Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's wrap up this series, shall we? This is gonna be the ace match, final battle, final face-off between these two players on the series that was held at the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne, Germany. We're gonna have again the PvZ between these two players that actually been providing us with a very cool series in my opinion. Long games, plenty of macro and micro, action-packed, back and forth games, fairly close. Interesting to watch, so I'm hoping for them to bring more of the same to this final game, especially because, well, being tied 1-1, everything is on the table and whoever takes the win on this one takes the final victory on the series. We're gonna have spawning here on this 8 o'clock position, the purple Zerg. It's the Australian mOOnGLaDe. As you guys know, teamless now. He was on Team FXO, but not anymore. They parted away. So I'm pretty sure he wants to show his skill set here at the IEM, at least get a bit of visibility so other teams might consider his potential and maybe hire him so he can pursue his professional career. And he's gonna be facing against a very menacing Protoss. Here, the red Protoss spawning on the 2 o'clock position, going by the name of EGHuK, but now he's EGHuK. I'm pretty sure that Team Evil Geniuses will sort that out soon enough and get him an account with EG on it. It's the way things work. I mean, they probably won't want to just keep plugging Liquid for the rest of HuK's life. So that's gonna be the way to follow, I'm assuming. And for now, taking a look at what's going on the game, we do see that HuK is just hanging here, trying to delay the mining on those lines, on those mineral lines. At the same time, oh, he just stole a little bit of crystal, ninja probe, and mOOnGLaDe reacting by going for that spawning pool, taking care of the gas. So I guess he's gonna get at least a couple of Zerglings out soon enough, and also that metabolic boost for the Zerglings, making sure that he's gonna get rid of any scouting probe or any unit that HuK might find fit to scout a bit later on. Meanwhile, HuK just making sure that mOOnGLaDe will have none of this natural expo unless he says so. And inside HuK's base, meanwhile, grabbing 2 gas. I think he's going to start stacking on the gas quite quickly. And there on the entrance on the ramp, yeah, there it is, he's moving the probes right away. And on the entrance he's just starting his wall off, the first gateway is out, so still going to take a little while. Noticing the positioning of this Overlord's mOOnGLaDe is going to take one all the way up north and another one on the bottom south. The accesses that will be provided to the main base of HuK for the mid and late game, probably for him to take more scouting information. While from what I can see, yeah, this probe is just gonna take a little stroll here up north. There's not much for the probe to check for now. I wonder if he's planning ahead to get some proxy pylons sooner or later, while mOOnGLaDe has his metabolic boost kicking in. And let me take a look here on HuK's side once more. He's finishing his wall off with the gateway cybercore, and mOOnGLaDe going for that hatchery, so he's going to be playing out of 2 bases soon enough. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are already out, with mOOnGLaDe attempting to take some map control, gaining dominance over that Xel'Naga watchtower in the middle of the map. That probably is going to provide them with any detection for any sort of movement coming out of HuK's base, and in time for him to react and prepare some sort of defense. And meanwhile, we see the Zerglings just arriving here, climbing up the ramp, taking a look at the wall off, but I mean, these 2 Zerglings won't be able to do much. There's no chance whatsoever. And meanwhile, HuK seems to be in a hurry to get his warp gate tech out, so apparently he might be wanting to warp in stuff pretty soon. Might be an indication of which way he's heading. And notice as well that he's stacking plenty of gas, already going for 250 and rising, and getting a fast Twilight Council. Interesting approach to this game by HuK. I mean, this might indicate that he wants to tech up fast and just get upgrades for his stalkers, for example for blink stalkers, but doesn't seem to be the case, because as you can see, well, there's no stalkers out, and might be more for some DT play. Would make sense. He's been stacking a lot of gas, and there it is, Dark Shrine coming down, so we're gonna have DT play by HuK. He's gonna try to throw some of those on the mineral line from mOOnGLaDe, and I'm not even sure if mOOnGLaDe will be prepared to react, but seems like he's having kind of a sixth sense. You know, his spider senses are tingling, and he's gonna go for a Evo chamber, so we might be seeing some sort of spore crawlers on this area, on the mineral lines, making sure he's gonna have some sort of way to detect those DTs. So I guess that mOOnGLaDe is just perfectly aware of all the openings and all the strategies that a Protoss player might use and approach for this early game. to harass a Zerg player, and he's gonna make sure he has what it takes to defend against DT play, and also sacrificing, nice play here, sacrificing his Overlord, flying above the main base from HuK and detecting that Dark Shrine. So now I think it's up to HuK to decide which way will he be heading, with all his Zerglings trying to finish off that probe, and also the pylons. They were able to force HuK to cancel his Nexus here on the Natural Expo, and now we're gonna have a small skirmish ensuing on the ramp that gives access to the main base of HuK, with the sentries just dominating with the force field play, and HuK cancelling that Dark Shrine. So very nice play and counterplay here, with the HuK obviously noticing that mOOnGLaDe detected his DTs, so we decided to just cancel it before it got finished, and I think he's gonna plan to transition into something else. He already has 3 gateways, he's expanding it now on the back of those 3 gateways after he was forced to cancel it once, and well, he's gonna stack up on the gateway count. Seems like that's gonna be the way to go for HuK, and also working on his blink tech. So those failed DTs are going to get transitioned into Blink Stalkers. Well decided here by HuK, good decision making, and also very good reaction on mOOnGLaDe's side. As you can see, he did allow those Spore Crawlers to finish, so he was just basically making sure, preventing any sort of DTs coming on his way. And now he's getting some static defenses, well actually 3 Spore Crawlers, quite a lot, and a Roach Warren on a position that I find a bit fragile. What you guys think? I mean, right on the way, right on the front end, and units coming from HuK will be able to just start poking and prod at it. Not sure if it's the best way to go. Working on the missile attacks. Also, we do see that on the HuK side, we are gonna have a Forge rolling, starting to work on his upgrades and getting more gateways out. So 5 gateway play out of 2 bases, with that Nexus getting finished, meaning that now HuK is going to be able to solidify his economy, because, well, mOOnGLaDe has been benefiting from a 2-base play for quite a while, and that shows on the income. And look at the worker count. mOOnGLaDe has been exploding on the worker count, 50 versus 33, and now we're going to have HuK climbing all his way here to this side, to his opponent's base, and instantly focusing fire on that Roach Warren. I mean, makes perfect sense. It's right here, really on the reach for those Stalkers, and forcing mOOnGLaDe to move with his Spine Crawlers, trying to get them on a proper position to defend that Roach Warren. And for someone that I see producing a lot of roaches and working on upgrades that will be suitable for roaches, this Roach Warren might be really, I don't know, doesn't seem like it's gonna last long, and we might be needing to build another one, which is always a letdown for mOOnGLaDe. The only way I can imagine him going for the build of that Roach Warren on this position is to block the access, the direct access to the ramp that gives access to the main base. But with the Roach Warren, it's a bit troublesome. Meanwhile, we've been witnessing this skirmish going on here, with more and more forces showing up on HuK side. Now Sentry is helping out with force field play, trying to push those roaches away, keeping them inside their natural expo, with that single Spine Crawler poking at prodding at the Stalker force. But the HuK has been just slowly grinding down the static defenses. There's no more Spine Crawlers available, except for this one that it's pretty hurt, and the Roach has been trying to contain the aggression, trying to hold HuK, but this is not gonna last very long. For now, upgrades rolling, Glial Reconstitution and Burrow, while the +1 is going on for HuK, and the Roaches are already on +1, meaning that at the moment on the upgrades, we do have mOOnGLaDe leading the way and dominating this game. Now, I wanted to take a look at the bases, but seems like it's not gonna be anytime soon. Uh-oh, they're gonna snipe the Roach Warren. Ooh, that was close, but they're gonna attempt it again. Yeah, I don't see HuK leaving this place before he just shoots down that Roach Warren and just delays the production for mOOnGLaDe. Makes perfect sense, and I think he has enough units to do so here. So unless mOOnGLaDe starts stacking up a lot of roaches and stops any advancement from HuK, not gonna happen. There he goes. It's gonna get sniped, and bye-bye Roach Warren, forcing mOOnGLaDe to build a second one, and now finally entering here onto the creep that gives access to the natural expo from mOOnGLaDe, and the roaches showing up to shoo away the Stalkers and once and for all get rid of them. Blinking out of harm, now hanging here in the middle of the map. Doesn't make much sense after blinking, to be honest. And yeah, heading back home. There's apparently a struggle, a battle here, to see who takes control of that Xel'Naga Watchtower. On this map, this Xel'Naga Watchtower is crucial, no questions asked. It will allow you to just detect any movement coming out of your opponent. Uh-oh, surprise! There they are, the roaches just popping right on top of the of the Stalkers, spewing a lot of acid, and now arriving here on the Natural Expo from HuK. Plenty of roaches trying to throw some aggression towards HuK's side, so it will allow a bit of breathing space for mOOnGLaDe and will permit him to keep expanding. Notice that mOOnGLaDe was already on 50 workers. How many now? Well, 47. He actually didn't build more. He was building enough to have 3 bases rolling, I'm assuming. And there it is. He's now getting that 3rd base on the top north. A very safe position for now. Keep in mind that it's probably one of the furthest away from his opponent, and meanwhile the roaches are just trying to clear a path to intercept any units advancing here to the bottom south on HuK's side. Probably if HuK advances there, he's gonna have his path clear to just get there and smash against that 3rd base from HuK. Meanwhile on HuK's side, let's take a look. Robotics facility taking care of a unit that will be a proper counter for so many roaches. There it is, the immortals are getting pumped out, but for now there's only plenty of stalkers with +1. Roaches are still on +1 as well, but the +2 is almost kicking in. Also the tunneling claws. So mOOnGLaDe has been working quite hard on his upgrades, and I do see there as well the pathogen glands, meaning that we're gonna have soon enough plenty of infestors coming out. There it is, that infestation pit is on the lair tech, and oh, the observer is gonna detect all these roaches once more. Let me just take the bars off. It's just way too many bars. It's hard to actually see anything properly, and again the roaches being assaulted by this big stalker count. Stalkers blinking forward and then running back. Oh, that one is gonna get shot down. And now that immortal trying to blast his way through the roach force. Nice tunneling claws just being used there for maximum benefit on mOOnGLaDe's side, and the force field play stopping the roaches from advancing properly. While here, let's take a look. Plenty of gateways from what I can notice. On the Natural Expo we do have that robotics and our robotics base, so we're gonna have some Colossus coming out to back up the forces from HuK, and at the same time we just have mOOnGLaDe dominating the map. Notice this Burrow with tunneling claws is just brilliant to use and regenerate those roaches so quickly. And meanwhile HuK goes for the expansion. He's gonna grab this 3rd, and he noticed obviously that this path is already open, so he's gonna get some sort of wall off here, I'm assuming. 2 more gateways getting landed, 3 more gateways. While here on mOOnGLaDe's side, well, his economy keeps thriving from what I can see, though it's still fairly balanced. HuK has been working on his probe count as well. Macro hatch here for mOOnGLaDe on his Natural Expo, and on his base we don't see anything else going on. I was wondering when mOOnGLaDe would consider transitioning to Hive Tech and get to that final layer, but doesn't seem to be the case for now. What I do notice is that Oni's supply is almost maxed out and clearing the path to the rich mineral field. So HuK is falling behind. There's a big difference there on the supply, as you guys can see. And I guess it's time for mOOnGLaDe to consider some sort of push here. Just try to be aggressive because he's on the top now and might be the best opportunity for him to try to crush HuK before he allows him to just mess up that very menacing death ball. And here comes a lot of roaches advancing here, backed up by infestors. Infestors trying to take that back position so they can just throw a couple of fungal growth on top of all the units that might advance towards the roaches from mOOnGLaDe. And seems like that mOOnGLaDe is going to flank all the way to the south, try to get access to that 3rd base that he cleared the rocks for before. But yeah, there's a big solid wall here. 3 gateways, 3 photon cannons. This is going to take a little while to destroy, and meanwhile the forces from HuK will have enough time to arrive here. So once again mOOnGLaDe just withdrawing his forces, and I think he's going to take another decision. I think he's going to try to approach again here this front to the Natural Expo that it's quite unprotected, and obviously those sentries will be able to get some force fields rolling, but with the Burrow available, I'm not sure, Burrow and tunneling claws, I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna hold the mOOnGLaDe for long. On mOOnGLaDe's side, there it is, the rich mineral field. mOOnGLaDe is strongly investing on his economy, getting all of those bases rolling, and notice the difference on the income. There's a small gap there, though the worker count is fairly similar, and seems like we're gonna have another clash ensuing here. All of this roach force trying to assault HuK once more, and he's just giving more and more breathing space for HuK to replenish his army every time he pulls back. As you can see, HuK is getting himself into his game, getting that supply really close, and ooh, nice fungal growth there. Able to spot this observer, but not kill it. He needs a second one going down. And notice HuK working on his gravitic boosters, meaning that he's gonna provide speed for his observers. He wants to keep them safe. He wants to make sure he's gonna be able to keep them away from all of those fungal growth that the infestors will be able to throw at him. And obviously the observers are being key on this battle, because without them the roaches will be able to just burrow and tunneling claws move around the Protoss army, and obviously that's not what HuK wants. And here he comes, another battle ensues. All of those stalkers, offensive blinking there, jumping right on top of the roaches, trying to shoot down as many as possible, and ooh, those infestors are just gonna be left behind and destroyed. Another offensive blink, shooting down more of those infestors and roaches, and forcing mOOnGLaDe all the way back home. Incoming the roaches from mOOnGLaDe. He knows he cannot allow just HuK to keep macroing all he wants. HuK is just evening out the base count, as you can see, going for that rich mineral field as well. So we're gonna have 4 base HuK against 4 base mOOnGLaDe, and mOOnGLaDe now transitioning into plenty of those corruptors, trying to counter the Colossus play from HuK. And you're gonna have another meetup here in the middle. Whoa, the forces from HuK are all stationed here. Incoming, massive battle ensuing. All of those roaches trying to get a big line, a big concave to shoot down the forces from HuK, but there's not enough, and those force fields are just stopping the roaches to actually be in place. As you can see, there's loads of units going back and forth on that top position, not able to do anything behind those force fields, and the remaining forces from HuK still alive and kicking, shooting down all of these forces from mOOnGLaDe, blinking forward with very badly damaged stalkers, and finishing off the forces from mOOnGLaDe. This was a very menacing assault here by HuK, blinking once more, intercepting several corruptors, and mOOnGLaDe just lost so many units here. Again, he's able to replenish it so quickly, blistering fast, that as you can see he's already on 170 supply once more. While he makes more and more warp gates, we have the first batch of Archons coming out, and I'm taking a look. There it is, that Templar's archive. Also, let me take a look what else he's building. Double Forge, working on those upgrades, +1 on the armor still, +3 on the weapons, while on mOOnGLaDe side these roaches are on 2-1, and he's working now on Carapace level 2, and we're gonna have these roaches advancing once more towards HuK side. Here they come, getting greeted by the Stalkers, this time backed up by Archons. Archons do bonus damage to bio creatures, meaning that all of these roaches will take extra damage, as well as a bit of splash from those shots that the Archons put out. So these roaches will be in trouble here. I wonder if HuK would be bringing at least a couple more Immortals to help out on these battles, because Immortals just chew through roaches so easily. And taking a look, as you can see, everything's stable for now. HuK benefiting of this mineral line 1, this rich mineral field, still on 3 mineral lines, though this one is getting close to exhausted. The one on the main is basically exhausted as well. mOOnGLaDe on 1, 2, this one almost exhausted, this one same way. So we do have HuK feeling well on his economy, with those 3 bases still thriving and with good economy. It shows it there as well, as you can see. And on the worker count, we have HuK once again ahead of the Zerg player on the worker count. It's something that you don't see every day. Also, Neuroparasite rolling, so we're gonna have those infestors probably trying to take care of the Colossus count. He tried to use those corruptors to counter the Colossus, didn't pay off. Now we have the Spire getting turned into a greater Spire, so Broodlords will be ensuing. Maybe we're going to be able to see that Infestor, Corruptor, Broodlord combination that is deadly on the mid game. And there he goes, finally that Observer got shot down, forcing HuK to get some more out, I would say. That greater Spire, like, not even halfway done, and he's trying to spread his creep to get more and more speed on the next battles where he faces HuK's forces once more. Both players staying on their side of the map, just macroing it up, but I mean, it might make a bit of sense for HuK because he's still on 188, still really close to max out, but for mOOnGLaDe is 200. It's time for him to do something about this. I think that, yeah, he's gonna get those Corruptors out and probably turn them into some Broodlords to try to make a push. What else does he have here? Let me take a look. This is still not finished. How's his Neural Parasite? Neural Parasite is done, so he's gonna be able to just use it to control those Colossus or Immortals. It's also another good option. And notice that he's killing some roaches. He's just basically cannibalizing or suiciding some of his units to get those Broodlords out, and there they are, they're popping. While you do see HuK advancing towards his opponent. Incoming unit Stalkers, the Stalkers from HuK's army advancing towards the forces forces from mOOnGLaDe. mOOnGLaDe still very heavy on the roach count. Let's take a look here. 46 roaches, 10 infestors. Nice play there. 10 infestors is very useful, especially against blink stalkers. Also he has, what else? Let me look. Well, that's basically it. I was wondering if he had any Zerglings, but not really. He's gonna send a changeling, instantly shot, and you're gonna have him facing against 19 stalkers, 24 zealots, 2 immortals, 5 archons, and 3 colossus. A very solid and healthy mix here for HuK, I would say. The army from mOOnGLaDe feels a little bit more rigid. Do you guys understand what I'm saying with that? Like, doesn't have the same flexibility. Though we have, yes, those corruptors and broodlords will be key. This amount of roaches, if HuK is able to shoot them down, well, as you know, the infestors are really fragile, so not sure exactly how long those broodlords will resist. But here he comes, massive battle with those zealots, trying to reach the front line, but no, all of them fungal growthed, and now the roaches were just bashing away at the stalker force, and there's not much left from the forces of HuK. Brilliant play here with the neural parasite, gaining control over that single colossus, and like this, just thwarting the forces from HuK, forcing him to run all the way back into his main base. Brilliant play. More gateways coming out here for HuK, trying to replenish his forces faster than he could. But these broodlords are already poking and prodding at the units here. As you can see, the broodlings are just starting to mass up and destroy those gateways. So this is, I guess, the first time that we actually see the forces from mOOnGLaDe destroying the buildings from HuK. These gateways and this rich mineral field are gonna go down. Boom, there they go. And meanwhile, as you could see on the pip, there was a small skirmish occurring here on the north with a small group that just finally got thwarted, and at the same time you had a small group of stalkers all the way up north destroying the base that mOOnGLaDe was trying to establish. That would be his 5th base here on this top north, with these stalkers able to stop it. But meanwhile, the bulk of the forces from mOOnGLaDe are here knocking on the door of HuK, and doesn't seem like HuK has much to answer. 200 army once more against 140 army. Let's take a look on units again. The 47 roaches still alive and kicking for broodlords. What else? That's it, 8 infestors. We have some high templars trying to come out for HuK. 24 stalkers, 7 zealots, and 3 colossus. But he's just slowly dwindling down. He's losing his army, he's losing his production facilities, and he won't be able to replenish his army that fast if he just loses this many warp gates. For now, his natural expo is basically getting shoved away, getting destroyed, and like this, we're gonna have mOOnGLaDe working out of 4 bases against 3 bases from HuK, because he already got his rich mineral field snipe, and now focusing fire on the cyber core, delaying the production of more stalkers. Well played there, and the broodlords are just wreaking havoc here on this natural expo. The roaches decided to push ahead once more against the remaining forces from HuK. HuK doesn't have much to defend here. There's only a small batch of zealots backed up by some archons and colossi, and now the big bulk of the stalker force here on the top getting fungal growth 24/7, and all of them destroyed. HuK doesn't have much of a force anymore. Notice the supply count going down so quickly, and take a look at this decision making by mOOnGLaDe. He just decided to pull back, take a little breathe, get his army up and running once more, and I think he's going to attempt to push. He knows that he threw a really big crushing blow towards his opponent, and that HuK now is like in Stone Age, he's way behind on his progress on this game. His economy will take a big hit. Also, his army doesn't compare to what mOOnGLaDe got at the moment. As you can see, he's making a lot of corruptors once more, 41 roaches. His roaches always been around this number, around the 40, against 10 stalkers, 6 zealots, 3 colossus. It's just not enough. And here comes the forces from mOOnGLaDe once more, driving down south, trying to destroy that base from HuK that is established here on the south side, and has been providing a HuK with a bit of an economy. And here they come, straight into this south base. I don't think there will be enough defenses here. Let's see if the roaches will be able to just destroy everything on this base. Nice neural parasite on those archons. Archons focusing fire on the zealot force, and this just completely unsurmountable and irresistible force from mOOnGLaDe, not allowing HuK to even recover by stabilizing this base. Some infested Terrans popping out as well. Completely relentless by mOOnGLaDe, backed up by the corruptor force that is able to snipe all of those colossus, and then his roach force on the ground is just wreaking havoc, destroy all of the buildings, First on that rich mineral field, now on this that was supposed to be the 5th base from HuK, and also destroyed plenty of the entrance to this natural expo from HuK, shooting down plenty of gateways and other units that HuK had here, making his army dwindle down so quickly. Now we do have plenty again, my god, plenty of Broodlords coming out once more, so we have just mOOnGLaDe getting ready to throw that final crush, that final blow towards HuK's army. I wonder if he's gonna be able to make it on the next push. I think he will. This Stalker's trying to intercept the Broodlord force, but I don't think this is gonna last much longer. There it is, plenty of Broodlings coming out instantly right away, destroying the Stalker force, forcing the survivors to blink back. And meanwhile we have the Roaches again massing up here on this choke point that gives access to the natural expo from HuK. And I think that mOOnGLaDe is gonna attempt to throw another blow to his opponent. Plenty of Zealots here trying to advance, none of them with charge, and HuK just GGing out of the match. Was way too much. He just noticed that the forces he was confronted with were just way ahead of anything that he had at the moment. As you can see on the supply, there was a massive difference, and also here on the numbers. Basically HuK, after he lost the rich mineral field and then that 5th base, and after the first wave that got here to the natural expo, he was out of this game. He wasn't able to replenish as fast as he was before, and mOOnGLaDe still working out of all his bases, getting a good profit, even getting to the point where he almost drained the rich mineral field. This 5th base was established once more, as you can see, so he had a way of moving onwards and keep his economy thriving the moment his bases would be exhausted. So he was dominating this game and dominating this series 2-1 over HuK. Impressive result by mOOnGLaDe, by the way. I think this is a good display of the quality of his gaming when he's focused and concentrated on what he's doing, and might be a way of him getting himself in a pro gaming team sooner than later, because having this kind of performance on a high profile tournament is the best way to call attention, to draw attention to himself by the pro gaming teams. So yeah, well, I guess that this series is done. All very long games. I'm feeling tired. Hopefully I didn't blabber that much and didn't say a lot of junk. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. See y'all later. Have fun.